All right, hello and good morning, everybody. So it is Alexa. What time is it?
The time is 4:49 a.m.
It is 4:49 a.m. in Los Angeles, California, and we're about to do a painting session. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna keep going with this because I'm not a huge fan of where it's at, and I think what I need to do is I need to take a break from it, or maybe not. Let's see if we could keep working this and possibly make something of it. But I'm just not too big of a fan of where it's at right now. Originally, I wanted to change this area, and I can't say I'm totally happy with what has become of it. I do like how the area with the grass has become, but at the same time, I feel like it doesn't really fit everything that's going on in the background. So I'm taking some time. I'm probably gonna put this piece up for now, and then we're gonna work on something else. But let's see, how about we work through another piece here. Gonna put this piece up for now. And let's work on this one. Let's work on this baby right here. And here we go. So I'm gonna bring this down, just lock it in. This is a painting from Pasadena, California. It was painted at night. And I had to rush through it and then use a photo reference for the rest of it. And I think it's okay where it's at, but I do want to throw in another twist to this. But I do like where it's at. I don't think it is totally off, but when I look at it, I just think like, there's some things that could be separated a little better. And that's what my goal is. I got to separate some areas a little better here. I hope you're all having a fantastic morning, or I guess if you're in the United Kingdom, it's probably evening by now. But I have to talk a little quieter than I usually do. I don't know if everybody can hear me, but I have to talk a little quieter because people are sleeping in this apartment. But actually, I'm going to open this back window here to let in a little bit of fresh air. And let's start with, how do we want to start? I like how this red carves into the piece right here. Let's start with let's do a drawing brush. Grab a couple brushes here to start with. It's an Aspen. This brush for sure. I'll take one. Let's grab two. And then this is number, no, that might be too soft. Let's see. Just slightly bigger one. Picking the right brush can be a challenge sometimes. Okay, this should be good. Gotta loosen this up with our oil here. So Jose Cardenas says, I love this art. Thank you so much. I actually painted this maybe like 9 months ago, six months ago maybe. I think I painted this during the summer one evening. And yeah, I painted this during the summer. And I'm in a phase right now in my painting where I want to go through all of my older pieces that have dried and just go through them, paint over them, see how I can add how I can add to them, add some personality to them. So let me go with a outline brush. I use this brush to do some outlining. And how do we want to start this? I'm going to go with my dark brown, mix a little bit of gray in here. And here we go. So Mr. Jose Cardenas, how are you? What's going on? Are you viewing this from the West Coast, East Coast? Or whatever coast? And whoever's here, feel free to share what city you're visiting from. Of course, you know you don't have to. But if you're here because you are also an artist or painter of some sort, feel free to plug your channels or your artwork or whatever. I'm happy to share them. Share them in Los Angeles. Here we go. Go around like so. We're just gonna add more colors to this. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do more. When this original painting, when I painted outdoors, I only had about 3 hours to really paint and dedicate the right amount of time to it. So then I'd spend a few more hours in the studio, which is where we're at right now, in the studio working. And now I'm seeing this, I have this painting just around, and I just want to do something different to it. I want to change it up, make it look a little different. We're going to start with outlines. Bendy 419. There's a new guy in town. There we go. Good old Picasso comparison. Benday. So what's going on? How are you, Benday? What's going on? How is it early for you? Is it late? It's about 5 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. Something yesterday compelled me to get up really early and paint today. And so here I am doing a really early painting. But I can't talk too loudly because maybe a bear's head on a turtle's body playing the banjo. Hey, that might be actually pretty good. That's actually a pretty good idea. Or a bear's head on a turtle's body eating a banana. Bananas are popular right now. There's that one artist that made that painting that's like a or he made a banana. He literally just left a banana taped to a wall, and it sold for like a large sum of money. Not a small sum of money, a very large sum of money. So here we go. So a bear and a banjo bear with a turtle's body would not surprise me if it became a hit. But you know what? My only gripe with that, though, the only reason why I wouldn't do it is because I don't know. I don't know if I want to pull out a reference of a bear and a turtle and try to make it up. That would mean some actual work. And here we go. We're gonna not be too. I'm gonna loosen this up a little bit, not be too overly cautious about our painting here. Kind of like the freeness that it has currently with some of the sites. I don't want to ruin that by trying to give it too much, making it too accurate. I think it's reached a level of design and interest that it feels like it has a unique personality. It feels like it was painted outdoors. So rather than trying to use the studio to make it like perfect or whatever, I think now's a good time to just like add to it rather than trying to subtract what's already here. There you go. That's adding some character. Let's add some blue to this. We don't need to. We could just paint over some of these areas that we already have. And Tuyen Pham, you am very overthinking. What do you mean? What do you mean you're overthinking? Are you trying to get into painting? And you've been overthinking it, so you just can't get yourself to do it? What do you mean? You know, and it's normal to overthink. We all overthink, I think, right? I mean, there are some times when there's lots of people who like underthink, but I think in general, when it comes to certain things, a lot of people overthink. Let's bring in some green. And here we go. Grab some of this green, bring it around this side. And what this painting session does, what I'm doing now, is really just going to add more vibrancy of color to this. It's not really going to like totally transform this painting. You're from Vietnam. All right. Well, hey, if you want to get into art, just do it, man. Don't wait. Pick up a pencil, pick up a pen, a crayon, whatever you got, and just go after it. No point in waiting. When your creativity is calling, you just got to do it, right? Otherwise, somebody else will. So how's the art scene in Vietnam? Excuse me. All right, so we're gonna put this brush down. Let's go over another section here. And we're gonna go down here. We're gonna sketch out our space here. Li Lu. I don't know what that means, but I hope that it is something meaningful to you. It's a positive message because I just spoke it. All right, and here we go. So we're gonna bring this up. I'm gonna sketch out the sidewalk a bit, add some outline to the sidewalk. Let's add a sidewalk outline. And here we go. So So Twin, thank you. Thank you for enjoying the art. So when you say you're overthinking art-wise, what do you feel you're overthinking? What's the obstacle here? Sometimes you need to think, you need to think a lot about what your next piece is. But sometimes if it's stopping you from doing the work in general, then you really gotta take a step back and just be like, hey, it's really not that big a deal. I mean, sometimes it is a big deal, especially, if you're painting a commission or something, but in general, overthinking will just do nothing except stop you. And the reason why I'm sketching over this after the fact is because going for an older painting style. That uses outlines. Now, outlines aren't recommended for most art, unless you're doing line art. If you're painting a scene that's supposed to be realistic or doing fine art, you don't really want to use lines, like big, thick lines like these. But as far as it's a stylized interpretation, and I've decided to use this thick line work in order to add character to these paintings. And here we go. Come down here, add some lines down here, nice dark lines. You do have to be aware that black will be really, well, this is almost black. It's a very dark brown, but Sankey, okay, what's going on? How long is it gonna take me to finish the painting? So this painting, just to go over this, it'll probably be maybe like 5 hours to finish this. And Sankey OK says lines aren't straight. Is this on purpose? It's not on purpose, but it's also not. It's also not. How do I say it? Because it's not on purpose, but it's also not something that I consider as a huge important thing. You know what I mean? Like if the lines are straight, good. If they're not straight, it's fine too. Right? Does that make sense? Because we're going to be doing stuff to it where the lines disappear. So the lines being straight isn't too big of a deal. And honestly, sometimes, you know, I make the lines even more exaggerated just to add character to the painting. So here we go. We're going to go here, outline this. I'm trying to outline all the things that are within a single spot. And we're going to go around like so. But yeah, I didn't make the lines purposely crooked. But at the same time, it's not that important to this piece that the lines be totally straight, because we're going to do stuff with it. But Caesar Cruz, you like and you sub. Wow, this is great. I love being able to wake up at a specific time. So it's really early here. It's 5 a.m. in California. I don't usually stream at this time. But something has been calling me to just wake up really early and paint and do this live stream. And I'm so glad I get to connect with so many different people from all over the country. Because I usually paint in like the afternoon here. And there's nobody. I get some people to visit, but I feel like it seems like it's extra active right now compared to when I usually paint. So it's good to see. Honestly, if you live stream and you're not getting the viewers you want, maybe it's good to change up your time for streaming. Speaking as a creator. But Caesar Cruz has liked and sub. So Sankey, feel free to ask more questions. You know, I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by. You know, you got millions, if not thousands, of live streaming channels that you could be watching right now. You could be on TikTok endlessly scrolling. You could be on Instagram. You could be on X endlessly scrolling. There's so many things, television, that could be taking your attention right now. And for that, I realize that. And you're taking the time to be here, so thank you so much. And here we go. So again, these outlines are ultimately just to add some character. Eventually we will make them disappear. But they help to bring out certain things in a painting. It helps to make certain things stand out in the painting. And let's see, I don't even remember what exactly. This person was wearing, or what the shapes were here. So I'm kind of just like following along and just copying what I did, relying on what I did. I'm not using a photo, by the way. So when I originally did this, I did this outside. I did this outdoors. And then I brought it home. I had it home and I spent a few more hours on it using a photo. And I've decided at this point I'm no longer going to use that photo, and I'm just gonna go over it without a photo. That's it. Just gonna use what I already have and add to it rather than taking away. But I guess if I add to it with painting, the way oil paint works is if you paint over something, you have to take it away, I guess, because oil paint's very opaque, meaning you can't really see, you can't always see through oil paint. I mean, there's transparent oil paint, but for the most part, if you paint over something, it might shine through a little bit, but you're not always going to be able to see it. So here we go. Just tracing over what I already did. That's it. Not getting too in depth. And here we go. So yes, so Tu Yin Fem says needs to learn more. Was no longer here. You know what? I disagree. I think whatever you need to paint is already within you now. All the creativity that you need, all the ideas that you need are within you now. You already have it. You don't need, there's not much of anything that you really, really need. Except to just go do it. It's funny. I have this little chunk of paint here that has like a little, that's made a little bubble on the surface of my palette. Made a little bubble on the surface of my palette, and it's just interesting to see a bubble on my palette here. So here we go. I'm gonna bring this around. Let's create the shape. Copy the shape that I made. Let's go down here, copy this other shape that I made. And let me see. What do we do from here? With this object. Go right here. Bring that down. And here we go. This next section right here is going to come across. And honestly, maybe we should exaggerate some of the shapes here. We're going to exaggerate some of the shapes. We're going to give this an angle, give this an angle. We have the opportunity now to spice this painting up a little bit. And that's what we're going to do. Spice it up a bit by giving it some more features. Maybe what we'll do is we'll go to this lamppost. We're going to give this an exaggerated top here. And let's exaggerate the sides here too. to give it a little pointedness. I'm going to exaggerate that. And let's see, what else can we exaggerate? We're going to go into here, and I'm going to exaggerate this curve a little bit. Exaggerate. Exaggerate, the word of the day. Exaggerate. And we're going to go right across like this. And then we're going to go like this, go across. You know what, this part might be hard to sketch because there's like so many like twisted ideas here. Everything's like just twisted together. So I'm not going to spend too much time sketching this area out. But I will go into some of the features of this statue. And let's go like this. Statue features. There we go. Bring this down. And for whatever reason, my throat needs a lot of clearing this morning. Maybe I should drink some water. In a few moments, let me get through this section first. I want to get through this bottom section before I take a break, take a water break. But let's see. Oh, no, this needs to go straight up. I don't need this little area right here. I'm going to go down like so. Here we go. I'm going to go across this. There we go. All right. And then let's go like this. We're going to go up and around. And here we go. Go down here. Boom. Go around here. Boom. Bring this curve down. Excuse me for the throat clearing this morning. I don't know why. I will get a drink in a bit drink of water. But I need to get through this section first. And what I'm doing right now is just adding an outline, and what we're going to do within this outline. So what I think the outlines really do is they help to create like a sense of like, I don't know, I think it just makes it pop out a bit more with these outlines. I like the way it's almost cartoony. It's almost cartoony, but it's not. And I usually only do this for like scenes that I paint outdoors, like with buildings and stuff, or like environments, like rooms. So I'm not what you would call like a hard edge artist, meaning you just separate colors totally by you know, how different of colors they are. So like this red would be totally separate from this blue. You can easily see that, but when you separate colors like yellow and like, you know, light brown, sometimes it's not so easy to see. But you can easily do it if you use hard edges, meaning like if you use like tape to separate the different parts of a painting. I use a ruler to help rest my hand. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna go freehand this. I'm not even gonna use a ruler here. I'm just gonna freehand this. Freehand these lines. And just allow the imperfections of my body movements to show through or not. And this tape's starting to get annoying, but maybe I don't need to get rid of it just yet. I usually like to leave the tape on, or I sometimes leave the tape on, not necessarily like it, but I'll leave the tape on from when I bought it. And this one's actually getting a bit annoying because it's preventing me from rotating my brush. That rarely ever happens where it prevents me from rotating the brush, but it's happening now. So if it's affecting my painting ability, I need to end it. So nice to meet again. Right on, Tu Yen. Thank you so much. Great to connect, dude, or dudette, or however you identify. Let's see. Dudette. Is that even a word? All right. So I'm keeping this brush nice and long, and I'm just holding it far away. And I'm not worried too much about and you know what? Let's go. Let's go like that, like this. Grab some more of this color. I'll lengthen the hand a bit. I want the hand to go into the tree rather than just barely touch the tree. And here we go. Initial sketch out. You know what? So when I paint, I don't think I'll be able to I don't think I would be able to do this without, if I just painted this live. Because when I'm adding the lines right now, you know, I definitely sketch out what I'm painting, but as I get painting when I'm out, you don't really have time to think. You don't really have time to think about to do this much planning, to go this slow. You don't have that luxury that you get when you're in the studio. So right now is a good time, you know, because the sun's moving. Or there's people crossing in front of you. Or you're getting tired and you have to use the bathroom. All sorts of things happen when you're like painting outdoors that come into consideration. And when that happens, it makes it that much more of a challenge to paint outside. And therefore, I wouldn't usually be able to make this type of line work. I mean, you can, but it becomes you don't get to make it as interesting as you like. Because if you're getting so tight when you're painting outside, you're you're painting, the expressiveness can be affected. That's my opinion, but that's not necessarily true. I know some wonderful plein air painters. Los Angeles has a wonderful plein air scene. But I like to go back and do these because I'm just curious. Curiosity has me going back to these and just seeing what I can possibly do or change, or how I can transform some of these. Some crazy kittens back there. Can people see these kittens? There's a black kitten right up here. Little black kittens right there. Look at that. Cute little guys. All right, back to painting here. So now that we've got this main sketch done, I'm done sketching this area, and I want to get into some more painting. So can you imagine why would I want to paint, right? Like, instead of drawing, it's time to paint. Let's do it. All right. I have this other piece right here that I'm working on. And basically what I do is I leave all of my excess paint that didn't come off while painting on here. That's coming out pretty neat. I'm liking it. Just gonna keep doing it. Just gonna keep on doing that. All right, so one thing I want to aim to keep is some of the looseness here. So let's go into here. I'm gonna go boom, 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 boom. And then let's grab a darker shade of this. I'm gonna go I like to add a lot of paint here. Let's add some blue, shall we? Add some blue to this, just to change up the look a little bit. And then it's almost like the lines essentially disappear at some point once you start adding in these marks. But the lines are there just to give it a little bit more character than usual. Just a little bit more character. And let's throw in some red, shall we? Let's throw in some reds. Why not? Why not have some red on this pole? Adding a variety of color. It almost feels like this is very Edward Hopper-esque, except Edward Hopper was like, would keep things very, very simple. He wouldn't have this much. He would just paint like a simple street or a very basic room with not too much going on to distract from the main story or plot. But I'm no Edward Hopper. Piece of hair there. Let's see. All right, got that hair off. Let's go up. And as you could see, someone earlier asked a question about the lines. It's like, oh, you made a crooked line. Is that on purpose? And this is part of the reason why, because the lines tend to disappear with this style. Because what I'm doing is I'm just going in and I'm painting up to the lines, and that helps to create it helps to reduce the impact of the lines, because otherwise the lines just look too bold. Just adding in a little bit of red to change up the colors a bit. Let's go. And let me see. Could add a glow. I don't have any yellow right now, so let me grab some yellow. What are you doing? Psst. Scout. Psst. Stop doing that. So we've got these two kittens, and they are crazy. My goodness. Anybody have cats? Anybody who's watching, anybody have cats? Yes, they're less than a year old. They're about 6 months old, I think. Something like 6 months old. So I'm going to grab a nice bright yellow. And I'm just going to go into here and I'm just going to paint into this. Let's add some nice thick layers of yellow right into here. Just to give it that sense of bright light coming through. So when I paint these lampposts, I'm using like a thick chunk of yellow here. Just a nice thick chunk of yellow. And I think that really helps to make it pop. Maybe add a little bit of red. Let's add a little bit of red here. Little bits of red. And there we go. Nice to give it some extra color. All right, that one section's down. Let's go to another one. So, let's see. This brush, I need to bring down the red a little bit. It's a little too much red. Oh, well, might be too late for that. I don't know. Might be too late. Too much red. That's okay. We'll make it work. And there we are, just adding some of the color down here, adding some of the paint off. And I'm always looking like back and forth between here and then this camera right here, because what I find interesting, so there's this trick that you learn in digital art. There's a trick that you learn in digital art, because in digital art, let's say you have like one image and you could just like see the mirror image like really easily. So you can like at the press of a button, you could switch from one image to the reverse image, one image and then reverse and then a mirror. And what happens is it like tricks your eyes or trains your eyes to like look at something and see it with or without mistakes. And I could constantly look. It's nice to constantly like just look back and just see how things look from a mirror image. So passionate adventures. Are people really watching this on their phones? I think vertical video streaming format is strongly misadapted to YouTube, but good luck. Yeah, you know, passionate adventures. You would probably be surprised at how many people watch vertical live streams. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised. Well, I guess you probably would be surprised since you're asking that question. But yeah, I tried horizontal streams before, and a lot of my viewers were like, "Hey, dude, I would love it to be a vertical stream." So, you know, sometimes I switch back and forth. It's not always. I mean, I guess for the most part, it's vertical, but sometimes I'll stream horizontal. Not always, but once in a while. So here's what I need. I need a brush that is very brushy. Let me get a brushy brush. When I say a brushy brush, I mean a brush that's like that's like soft, that I can use to put down a lot of extra paint. All right, this might be good. This brush will ever be revived. You know what? Hey, Passion, thanks for sharing your thoughts on that, because every once in a while, sometimes I just need to be reminded to do it the other way again. But here we go. I'm going to take this brush. And let's go. Let's go red. Go red here. Grab this red, and here, let's go. Nice thick chunk of red here. But yeah, YouTube, I don't know. I think YouTube needs to share more thoughts around what is the best way, whether I should go vertical. Because I think what the problem is also, I don't know if you're probably not still here, Passionate, but I think what the problem is also is that YouTube at one point really was pushing for people to do vertical. So because of that, I did a lot of vertical streaming. And I just kind of got into the habit of it. Yeah, I do think that there's probably some people just sitting up in the morning, sitting around, waiting, drinking their morning coffee or getting ready for bed, and see a stream that's vertical. And, you know, they're not looking for a tutorial or anything. So that's, by the way, I am sharing some stuff around what my stream is about, but I don't really do tutorials. If someone wants a tutorial, that's not what this stream is for. I don't really do how-tos as much as it is me just talking through my entire process. But Let's grab some yellows here. And we're going to go just straight across. Let's go down. Let's go. Yeah, just talking through the process. I feel like art is one of those things where I wouldn't really want to teach it as much as I would want to be a coach on it. And when I say that, I mean, like, I don't really want to like share the entire process of how to do things as much as it is like ideas and a thought process that I have that I just share, and you know, people can take what they want from it. That's more what I do on these live streams. So that's why I also think the horizontal streaming isn't really totally the best for what I do. But here we go. We got this bright red here. I think I need a bright red here as well. So let's go into here. We're gonna grab some of this yellow. I want to change the color just a little bit. So we're just gonna use and let's take this street view, the street right here. You know what, we could probably throw in some of these colors into here. Throw in some of these reds just to make them pop a little bit. Knowing that at some point some of these colors are gonna come together. All right, let's see. Seems to work pretty well. All right, so let's go next color. What should we do for our next color? Oh yeah, we want to do the street. So for the street scene, I don't want to get too, I should use one of these new brushes. Oh, this brush is good. For the street scene, let's go with this blue here. Let's go with a nice blue street. Nice cobblestone path. It's not even cobblestone, but and there we go. This is a great color for this street. Grab some more. And here we go. Let's go like this. And paint that across like that. Bam. You know what I think about this area is do a lot to it to make it pop out a bit more. Here we go. Let's do this. Go around. Here we go. Yeah, so earlier someone was asking about these lines, and this is part of why it doesn't matter if they're too straight, because especially with oil painting, or maybe even better with acrylic because it dries, but with oil painting, you know, you can move stuff around. You can move lines around because it's just, the oil paint's not going to dry right away. And, you know, that could be a problem. Like, I can still move lines around, make it look like the line's not even there anymore. But what also happens is you have to be aware of the color of that line, because what's going to happen is if you're not aware of it, then that line is going to eventually possibly get into your paintbrush, which can be really hard to get off. But I think where this is at right now is pretty good. We're going to keep going with this color here. Keep going, grabbing this nice blue. I'm just going to paint this across. Let's just paint it across here. And at the end of this, I think my only real question is going to be, you know, did it turn out better, this paint over? And here we go, just painting a street. Exciting, huh? So exciting. Did you ever think that you would watch somebody paint a street? It is rewarding though, and because I can definitely see the difference. This painting, this version is going to be much more vibrant than the last one, because the colors are going to be much more crisp, in my opinion. You have crisper colors. And here we go. So, go around this leg here. It's going down, going across. go into here. And let's go, bam. So this brush comes in really handy because it's got very flat edge. It's got corners. This paintbrush has corners, so I also have the opportunity to be a little bit more accurate with the design here. And at some point what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over even this section with some greens. I like to spice up some of the color choices here. And here we go, a nice overlayer. Okay. Oh, do I want to leave that flat or not? Oh, the questions. Let me see, how do I want to do this? This section right here is a little bit, the color's a little off by a little bit. So I need to go into here. Darken it just a hint. And there we go. So let's see how I can take green. Actually, you know, it needs to be just a little bit darker. So I'm going to grab some of this ultramarine blue. Just take a hint of it and try to just dab it into here. Hopefully that mixes. Yes, the phone catches little details that my eyes really wouldn't. And now, let's do something fun. So these were cobblestone paths. So let's see how I can make this look cobblestoney. And to do that, I want a very light yellow color. Mix a very light yellow. Let's go right here. Grab this yellow. This street is lit up, so let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is somewhat experimental. Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Let's just keep adding this decoration here. I'm gonna keep going with it. Although it may not be an accurate representation, I think it is adding a little bit of a quirkiness to what's going on. So this I can dig. Maybe I'll round it out a bit. Let's see. Should go like that. Kind of disappears. That's okay. That's not okay. See what we can do. We go with this brush. I'm gonna paint over this again. Let's go into here. And we're going to go diagonal. Let's just try to create this diagonal here. Gotta get another diagonal right there, another diagonal right here. See the diagonal lines I should probably follow here. Okay. And some more diagonals here. There we go. One diagonal there. 3, diagonal number 3. Let's do another diagonal. Another diagonal right here. 1, 2, 3. Let's go across again. We're gonna go. There we go. And then the next diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think start another one right here. And at some point it's going to come down like so. There we go. And let's bring in another diagonal here. Another diagonal. Diagonal. What's up, Scout? How you doing, buddy? Anybody else talk to their cats? I'm talking to a cat right now. My cat's just staring at me. He knows I kick him off the table if he gets too close to my painting. And by kick him off, I mean pick him up and gently place him down, not literally kick him. But yes, he knows, right, Scout? He's like falling asleep on a table. It's so cute. What a cute little kitten. All right, here we go. Going for something decorative. You know, this is decorative. And let's go behind. Boom, 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 boom. And let's go again. Go. Keep going with this. And go up here. Womp, 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 womp. And some more. Just to make it more decorated. And now let's add some green into this. I've always wanted to experiment more with these colors here. Let's go see how we can do this. We're gonna go let's make one side into shadows. So we're just gonna paint green on one side of this. On the left side. We're gonna go green, 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 green. Let's grab this green. So you can barely even tell. Okay, here we go. And captures some little rocks, right? Captures some rocks. And then let's see, maybe we'll go in some blue just to go underneath. A little spot of blue here. A little decorative. A little decorative feel. And here we go. Well, the question here, is this adding to it or is it just filling time? I'm not quite sure yet. This specific piece that I'm doing right now, which is just adding like little chunks of blue underneath just to give it a little bit more texture and design. Let's go right there. Okay, all right. Now let's go into this next section here. We're gonna paint the gray sidewalk. And what we gotta do is we probably gotta grab some white here. Lighten, darken the sidewalk. Keep it blue. Maybe go green, add a little bit of green. Just in here, just go boom, 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 boom. Add a more variety of color here. Add the sidewalk some more. Add some different colors into here. Just so it's not totally boring. Let's see where the camera's seeing. Yeah, there we go. That's better. We go a little darker. Add some more dark greens here. It's funny, things that are closer to me actually kind of get bigger in this scene, which shouldn't be the case. Things should get bigger, smaller as they move further away. It's like this middle part is the biggest. Or maybe it was bigger, I don't know. I don't really remember. So here we go, adding color variety. And just stroke by stroke getting right into this section. Let me get a little further in, right there. There we go. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get into the sidewalk a bit more, just so it doesn't get lost around that piece. And then let's get into our blue here. Get some of this yellowish color that we made. And maybe bring it it down a little bit. Yeah, okay. And here we go. So, I'm going to bring that down. Perhaps in this yellow. And I'm going to continue on with this gray color. It's like an off gray, blue, green. And add a little bit of gray. A little bit more gray. Let's see, how can we make this pop a little bit more? Maybe pick up some of this red. And just add a little bit of red along the way. This painting is just becoming a little bit crisper in these sections. Add some of this lighter color. And let's go for yellows. Oh, you know what? One of these was a grate. But maybe I can just leave the grate off. Huh. Excuse me. Let me see what we got going on here. Hey. How you doing? Okay. Here, let's get this on camera. And let's see what's next. What do we do next? All right. We gotta do this ground area. This front ground space. So, what I should do is I should get rid of this brush. Actually, no, I could probably do something else with this brush. Oh yeah. This is what I should do. I should lay it down on my other art project. Multiple art projects going on at the same time. All right. Let's see, what brush should I use now? Got so much red on this still. Wipe it off. There's this kitten just sitting at the edge of a table staring at me. Scout, what's up, man? What are you observing? All right. For these floors in the front, we're gonna go with an off-white. We're gonna go with an off-white, off-blue. Actually, an off-blue might be good. Off-white yellow. Off-white with the blue. Grab this yellow. Off-white yellow. And this will be a good color. Here we go. Let's just paint this in here. Start in the back here. Maybe a little bit more white. Throw that in there. And here we go. Bring this down. So right now I'm just laying down the color. And then afterwards I'm gonna figure out what to do with it after I lay down this color. Little paint booger there. And let's go into here. It's a little cleaner. And let's see, Marianne Sorensen, how are you? What's new with you? I'm guessing you're out of the hospital. Are you okay? How's everything going? I remember last time you told me you were in the hospital. I hope you're okay. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I can throw in some of this color into the backdrop here. What? What do you want? What do you want, huh? These kittens, my goodness, they just want to bother me. What do you want, Pookie? Hmm? What do you want? Go play with your brother. Go play with your brother. All right, here we go. You know, I love the painterliness of this previously. And I'm trying to work to keep that painterliness, like to have all these like different colors and everything, while still maintaining, still making this painting look different and painting over it. So I think what needs to happen is I need to clean this brush off first. That's step number one, cleaning off the brush. Let's see what's next. Still figuring it out. Let's see. Should probably clean this one off too. And now, I should use this new brush I got. So I just got this brush yesterday. I haven't used it yet. You have what is called oh, you have something in your lungs. My goodness, Marianne. So here we go. We're going to add some variety of brush strokes to aim to keep in an effort to keep some of the brushiness, the brushy effects that we've had going on here that we've somewhat lost because I've tightened it up so much. I don't know what that is, but it sounds bad. You held? What do you mean? I'm not understanding. I mean, it sounds horrible what you're going through. Yeah, you need lungs. Lungs are very important. Okay. And here we are. I see. That's okay, Marianne. But it's good to see you're here. You're here. You're live. Not necessarily, not necessarily just here, but just in general, able to communicate. Yeah. Are you at home now, or are you still at the hospital? Good. You are home. Home is where the heart is. You can beat it. It looks like you already are. So for this piece, as I'm working through it, part of my goal is to not ruin some of the colorfulness that I have going on, which I really like some of the colors that are interacting. And if I make it too tight, if I keep all of these lines, it's gonna change it up quite a lot. But let me go with a nice gray, nice dark gray. Thank you, Marianne. Appreciate it. Yeah, so this is a paint over, which means I originally did this about a year ago. And right now I'm just redoing it. To give it a different look. Let me try to clean up this little area right here. Yeah, so this is Pasadena, California. Pasadena is a city in Southern California, and this is a street in that city. It's a very lovely street. This is actually a theater where people go to watch plays. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this scene. I've really only gotten redone about a quarter of it, so still got a lot left to do. A lot left to do. And here's what I'm... Oh my goodness, Marie Ann, congratulations, stop smoking. That is so important. I think we need to celebrate that you have stopped smoking, because that is incredibly good, incredibly powerful, and it's incredibly difficult for some people. But if you're able to do it, you know, congratulations. So many people struggle their entire lives with that, you know? Struggle their entire lives with smoking. It's not easy. So next, what's next for you? What are you gonna do with all that extra time? I heard like people spend smokers spend between like 30 minutes a day, 30 to 45 minutes a day smoking. That means you've got an extra half hour every single day to do whatever you like. What are you gonna do with that free time? Spend it with family, right? Spend it with family. That's always good. That's always a good choice. Let's go with some green here. I'm gonna highlight with some green. Green to juxtapose the red. Let's go green right here. Cookie, no. Go. Look at her. Oh, no, she's not getting up in my business yet. I'm gonna go right into here. Smoke 60? Oh my gosh, wow. Well, Marianne, you can change your life right now. This is an opportunity to totally transform your life. Wow. All that extra time, all that extra money, all that extra lung power. You've totally been taking control of your own life. That's very powerful. Congratulations. You went from 60 minutes. I'm not sure if you're saying 60 minutes or whether you smoke 60 cigarettes a day, but if it's 60 cigarettes, my gosh, I really can really appreciate this idea of like how hard that is. And what that's going to do, what stopping is going to do for you. It's gonna have it's a total life change, transformation. Oh my gosh, wow. And here we go. What we gotta go into here. And in order to keep some of the looseness here, I want to go across with this green. And now we're gonna grab a dark green here. I'm gonna go across. Grab some of this yellow. Go right down. Grab some of the ochre. And then let's grab some more of this ochre and go down here. 60. Oh. You do 60 cigarettes a day and you are, oh my, that is like a world record. I don't know. That just blows my mind. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing a bit of your story here. It can be hard to talk about the things that are really troubling you. But 60 cigarettes a day, that is, oh my goodness. I don't even know how that's even possible. Wow. How long did you? That's easy. How many a cigarette pack has what? Maybe 20 cigarettes. So I guess 3 packs a day. Oh. But I just mean like it's just fascinating what the human body can do, right? Like your body can handle 60 cigarettes a day. My body can't even handle like 1 cigarette. but somehow the body is such a fascinating thing that you're able to reach that many, and you know, better, more importantly, that you're able to figure out how to stop. Oh, wow. That just blows my mind that you're able to do that. I mean, I guess I've known people that have smoked like, you know, 1 pack a day. I can't say I know a single person who smokes 3 except you, but at the end of the day, more importantly, you've been given another shot at whatever it is that you want to do in this lifetime. So yes, do art. Do art. Let that be your new thing. Have I tried smoking? I have before, but not like seriously. Like many years ago, I have had like 1 cigarette in my life in college. That was it. No, never. Just I don't get yeah, I don't get addicted to things. I get addicted to painting. Luckily, I become manic. I have phases where I get like manic and I want to, you know, just paint a lot or draw a lot, spend a lot of time on creative efforts. But I've just, luckily, I've never been into smoking. Never got into it. And I'm wondering about this figure. I'm seeing it, and I think it's okay where it's at right now. Got a variety of colors. Got the horns. What do you mean you lost inspiration? What do you need inspiration to do, and what is it that you feel you need inspiration to do? You mean for painting? You've lost inspiration for painting? You can't lose inspiration for painting. There's always something. You don't even need inspiration for painting. I think you just have to do it. All right. Well, maybe, you know, maybe painting's not for you. Maybe you could pick up sculpture or crochet, sewing, knitting. I don't know. You don't have to paint. Like I feel like I have to paint. Right? That's like, but there's something else that must be calling you as a person other than cigarettes that you feel like you have to go do it. And that might be sculpting. Maybe that's you know, maybe it's not a creative activity. Maybe it's just going out and having a conversation with somebody. I don't know. So the real question is, do you want to feel inspired to paint? Do you feel like, is there anything actually calling you to paint? Because sometimes, you know, there's other things that people want or need to do. And, you know, if painting is not calling you, you know, you don't need to do it. Maybe it is just a hobby, right? And then you decide that you're only going to do it once in a while, but when you really want to, but you don't need to. But for me, like, you know, every day, I'm literally every day, I'm thinking I need to paint, 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 I need to paint. Like all day long in my head is just I need to paint. Like the same thing that makes you want to go, that I feel like possibly makes you want to smoke a cigarette, or anybody want to smoke a cigarette, is the same feeling that I have when it comes to painting, I think. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know what it feels like to crave cigarettes, but you get what I'm trying to say. So you have the lust for painting. All right, so let's define this. So you have the lust for painting, but you don't have the inspiration. Right? Is that what you're saying? Like you have a desire to, you have a deep desire to paint, but you just don't feel like you have the inspiration? Is that what you're saying? You just don't feel the same like if you have the lust for it, then you know sometimes that's all you need. Eventually you will just get the desire to go do so. But if you don't have the inspiration, I mean, that's just like, I don't know, for me, that's just like, if I don't have the inspiration, nothing inspires me to paint. Either I don't do it, or I just pick something to paint, because that part of me that has to paint is just loud. So I'll draw my own feet if I have to, you know, just to get going, or I'll paint the still life, anything, just to get going. We're gonna grab some white here. Let's do this. maybe you can pause it. Yeah. Yeah, take a break, whatever you need to do. But eventually, if it's something that you feel you must do, you'll get the motivation. One of my life coaches, he always said something like, you have to make it a must. You can't just want to do something. Even needing is only just barely enough. You need to must. Something has to be a must. Like, you can need something and still not do it. But if you must do something, that totally changes everything. If you must paint. All right. I think I've worked this piece enough. This part, this guy, this figure. And there's enough going on, enough color variation. I like what's going on. Have you ever thought of getting a life coach in your area that speaks that speaks Norwegian or Norwegian? Now that you're not doing, since you're quitting cigarettes and you're trying to find new things to do with your time, it might be a good time to check out a life coach. I had a life coach for quite a while. I highly recommend the life coaches. But particularly one that, a life coach that can speak your language, a life coach that you feel like you trust. Because the wrong life coach can also be bad if you get the wrong life coach. Because I think the problem with finding a life coach is finding a life coach that truly wants what's best for you and not what's potentially best for them, right? Because some life coaches, they want you to be their client forever. And then there's some life coaches that want to help you through whatever it is that you're working on, get you through that, and have you move on. And then maybe, call them back when you have another challenge. And sometimes finding the right life coach can be tough. A life coach. So a life coach, so one way to describe it is that a life coach basically helps you get more of what you want out of your life. And they might use different methods or techniques, but basically think of like a therapist, a mental health professional tries to helps people that are struggling, right? People who are maybe dealing with anxiety or these things, and they have a lot of issues that they're working over, and they might be mentally ill on the extreme side of it, and they might go to like a therapist, and therapists are sometimes covered under insurance. I don't know what it's like in Norway, but that's like therapy, mental health, mental illness improvement. Now a life coach is similar in the sense that a life coach is someone that you're going to talk to, that's going to help you do things, accomplish things, succeed at things. But a life coach is not usually working with someone who has a mental illness or who has like, these has like problems. They'll work with somebody who is, mentally fit, and they'll help you go from, overcome small obstacles or even big obstacles. But uh, yeah, yes, I've heard a lot of people compare them to therapists, but you really have to separate the idea that a therapist is helping someone with a mental illness or some mental health challenge, whereas a life coach is someone who actually, sits with you on a weekly basis and talks to you about, moving towards your goals, things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to change, and things like that. But their life coaches aren't usually covered by insurance because most people are totally healthy, and a life coach is more of a luxury to have somebody help coach you. But yeah, that's the difference. Say, oh yeah, you have a person like that. Fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. So if you do, that's awesome. If you didn't, and you know what? Sometimes it's good to hire like someone who's a professional net life coach and not just a friend you can talk to. Am I tired? I do need a break soon. I've been doing this for about almost 2 hours. I'll probably need a break in like 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. But I have a couple sections here that I want to work on before I take my break. Let's go right here. So right now I'm going back to the initial phase of sketching out the areas around the different parts. And what we're going to work on is we're going to eventually tighten that up. Tighten all that up. We're going to fill the spaces and everything's going to look great. So here we go. Using this color to sketch out our piece here. So here's the funny thing. I started this painting during the day. It was light out, and then I finished as the sun was. I didn't finish the whole thing. I just got the initial color layer down. And with that, I did the rest of this at home. I didn't do too much at home. I think I painted like one window and added in a figure. But the majority of this was done on the spot outside. I think I have a live stream from it too. You can actually see a previous live stream that I did and see how far I went with it. Well, right now I'm just adding. I want to keep this. I want to keep these pieces looking like. I want to keep the paint looking consistent. And the problem with this paint here, although I like how it looks, although I like how the paint in general is looking, I'm not. It's a little bit more matted than the other areas that I'm painting right now. And I want the paint to all look like fresh. So I have the challenge right now of painting over this. And you know what? I also want to make this like something new, something different than it was. Not totally different, but some. I was clearing my throat a lot earlier. But yeah, I had a lot of throat clearing this morning. But besides that, I'm okay. Mine is usually because I have, when I eat certain types of foods, I get acid reflux. But I don't smoke. But I do get acid reflux, which means when I eat certain foods, I think more acid comes up into my throat, and I have to clear my throat a lot. But not having any of those issues this morning because I haven't eaten yet. I haven't eaten breakfast. Might eat breakfast in a little bit. Maybe when I take a break. Where is my phone? Ah, here we go. Let's go into this, grab this purple. And we're gonna go like so. Huh? Am I good? No? Are you waiting for me? Huh? Oh, okay. Well, we go to the gym in like 10 minutes. Or actually like 15 minutes. Yeah, if you give me like 15 minutes. You shall soon eat dinner. Oh yeah, this is later for you. You know, I do like the idea of doing these live streams a little earlier. I mean, I guess I could do it throughout the day, but I think it helps me, you know, connect with different people because not everyone is awake when I usually stream. which is usually in the afternoons, the late afternoons. But something called me yesterday. Something inside me was saying I should just, whenever I wake up, go paint. And I just happened to wake up at like 4 o'clock today, 4 a.m. in California time. Okay. Can't tell if this is a building. I guess that was a building. He said, "Ow, ow, ow." All right. I'm looking to build this up in sections again. So I'm trying to find what should be the next section here. We'll go like this. Go like this. We'll come around here. Let's see how we could bring this down a bit more. That was early. Yeah, I got up really early today. I like it though. I like this idea of getting up early, having more daylight. Like I realized the other day, I was thinking to myself, I was like, why is it so hard for me to get up early sometimes? And I was talking to somebody, I was talking to Kat about it, Kathleen. And, you know, sometimes it's like, the question was like, what do people do at 4 in the morning? And I was like, whatever. And then I started thinking, I was like, you know, it's really hard. Like, does anybody do anything at 4 in the morning? Like, when people wake up at 4 in the morning, what do they do? And I was like, why not paint? Why is it so hard to paint at 4 in the morning? I don't know.
Do you want coffee?
Yes, please.
Oh, that looks nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like it.
Then what?
Then the first one, the first time. Okay, so which cats got fed?
All of them, I guess.
Oh.
I mean, I definitely put food in their bowl when I got up.
Yeah, I know.
You what?
That doesn't mean they ate. Hey, get out of there. There's pee here.
Well, is there still food there?
Again? Not really.
Well, then that would mean they ate, right?
I don't know which ones they ate.
And then just put some more food in the bowl and let them hash it out, like in the wild.
You know some of our cats would be dead.
Yeah. Yeah, Fern escaped one time and she trapped herself in a tree.
Simba, I want to congratulate you, but now I take it back because you peed right here. Stuck in it.
Oh, you were up earlier too and you saw a doctor. Good. Good that you got up and took your life into your own hands.
I
And all I can say is, you know, Marianne, I hope you continue with this healthy lifestyle that you're coming to conscious of, that you're becoming more aware of. Let me start putting some outlines along these, around these roofs here. So there needs to be, I don't know what that is. Right here. And there needs to be another outline here. We can actually spice this up by giving it a little bit of an angle. Are you playing? And here, let's go like this. And we're just gonna do this outline. So exactly what we did at the bottom pretty much, but just continue this outline. But I really only want to outline the roofs first. And what we do with this outline is just as a guideline. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint into where the outlines are. I'm going to paint into them anyway. And it's going to change the way these outlines look. They're going to be much less thick, sort of like down here. The outlines are going to be much less thick. Maybe thick in some areas and less thick in others. And once I outline some of these roofs, I'm actually going to take a break here. So if you're just tuning in, I am going to take a break in a few moments. Just want to let you all know that and get your time to find your next channel. And here we go. Here we go. Like so. I think these outlines are actually adding quite a lot of character to this painting. I don't really know what that is, so I'm just going to outline like this, right there. Some more outlines. I'm trying to figure out how this was. I think this was like an awning. I think this was like a walkway here, so let's go. Trying to separate the different features here. I guess that was a corner. This was part of the roof coming down. I probably have a reference photo somewhere, but I don't feel like using it. I like the idea that, you know, not using a reference photo, you could create something a little different. Because you're going to be seeing things differently. You have to interpret what you're seeing. I think that can create some interesting, that can yield some interesting designs. And it's a pretty picture. Thank you. Yes. All right. You know why I'm laughing? Because there's this great book on art. It's called I think it's called Get the Picture. I think it's called Get the Picture. And in that book, there's this chapter where the author is talking about what one of the gallerist curators says as a bad painting. And they said that they were like, an artist is a bad artist, or something like this. I'm not word for word quoting this exactly, but they said a bad artist is one who just paints pretty pictures, or something like that. So I find it funny that you said that this is a pretty picture. No. They didn't say that bad artists paint pretty pictures. It was something like, you know, there was a criticism of the artist, and they said something like, all they do is paint pretty pictures, and that doesn't make like an artist or something. Something like that. It's not like a contemporary artist. You know, contemporary artist doesn't just paint pretty pictures. They do different things, and I find it funny that you said it's a paint pretty picture. Again, not my opinion, just something else that I found shared in a book by a prominent New York gallerist whose opinion is that pretty pictures do not make, or like real successful artists or whatever are not just making pretty pictures. Something like that. If I ever find the quote again, they said that a painting is just a pretty picture, and there was like a negative connotation to it. I can't remember, but it is a good book. And you know what? I agree with the statement that that there is a difference between an artist and an artist who just makes pretty pictures. I would agree with that statement. So here we are building up some of these features. Let me see. I can't really remember what the heck was going on here. What was going on here? I think because I can't remember, it's a good time to take a break in just a few moments here. Just a few moments, I'll be taking a break. we go. This, some this. See things all the time. All right, here we go. Almost done here. Not done, but finished with this session, which I probably will come back to this later this afternoon after I've gotten a little rest, because between painting sessions, it's definitely good to get a new eye, a new perspective, some new thoughts, ideas, letting changes soak in, changes that you made sink in. Let me outline the major part of this building here. I'm going to add this outline right across. And we're going to go across here. Then let's go. There's a building here. It's a doorway here, actually. Little archway. And here we go. Bring this down. We're going to go across like so. And here we go. So, bring this down.
Coffee's ready.
All right, thank you. Let's see, how's this going? It's going pretty well. All right, I think it's time for a break, everybody. It's a great time for a break. I'll be back later. Not sure exactly how much later, but sometime later. And here we go. Yeah, I gotta take a little break right now. You know what? I want to put my signature in the bottom right. I'm gonna add my signature down real quick before I forget. So I've already finished painting the bottom right, and I think this is where my signature was before. So it's gonna go. And with that, let's see. All right. Well, hey, Marianne, thanks for tuning in. I wish you the best with what's going on with your doctor's visits and all that. And let me go ahead and just see if there's any finishing things I want to do before I finish up for now. I think this is it for now. We will come back to this in just a few hours after a little bit of a break.
But ultimately, a little recap. This is a paint over, meaning I'm painting over it. You know what, Marie Ann? We're just gonna add a little thank you for being here. It's a secret. It's a secret. I'm gonna add your letter, the letters MS somewhere in secret, as a thank you for being here for so long and staying around to watch this. But let's see, where can I put this? Where would be a good place? I'm gonna hide it somewhere. We're gonna put a little MS in here. M. It's just gonna look like a part of this. Oh yeah, so there's an MS there, Marianne. Thank you for being here. I like to include some of my viewers incorporate the idea of having viewers incorporated in here. Yeah, Marianne Sorensen, just a little MS. Secretly. Not totally obvious, but you know that I'm very grateful for you to be here watching. So, yeah. All right, let's wrap this all up. We gotta take care of some business for the day. All right, there we go. We'll be back in a bit. Take care.